inside of the control room. This is where the magic happens.
Yes.
All behind the scenes on Life Worth Living. And today we're going to be continuing off Angel's story.
Finally, right?
Who ditched us for 2 days straight, but we're back with Angel's story. And we're also having Roxy, a girl from West Palm Beach, that she's going to be talking about her trials with depression and how she overcame all of that here in the YPG. Now, Bruna, you are going to be doing what today?
I'm going to be reading your comments, and right now I want all of you to share the link of this video with all your friends, your family. If you have a group chat that you have a bunch of people on it and you simply don't show up in that group chat, show up right now. Copy the link of this video and share that with your friends. You can be helping someone.
Or you can also text it to a friend, a family member. You can post it on your social media. You can email the link. You can make smoke signals and let everybody in a 3-mile radius know what's happening on Life Worth Living. All right. For those of you who don't know, Priscilla there in the back is trying to hide right now.
Say hi, Priscilla.
Where is Priscilla? There is Priscilla. Priscilla is our producer here in Life Worth Living, and she's the one that makes us very happy with all the material that we have. We have Fernando, who is desperately trying to help us out here. Thank you very much, Fernando. And Vivi, who is always on the show but never actually shows up in front of the camera. We know that things like this don't happen by themselves. They need people to make it happen. So that's why we have this show, okay? We're going to go for a break. When we come back, we're going to be talking to Angel, and he's going to be telling us a little bit about the bad. No, we talked about the beginning with the smoking, the hanging around with the bad friends, but now we're going to dive deep into how bad his addictions got, and we're opening the comments to you guys to ask him any questions that you might have.
Hi, my name is Diana. I'm 19 years old, and this is my story. When I was 12 years old, my dad died on a fight. I started to feel depressed, sad. Due to that, I started my drinking addictions. At the age of 13, I was introduced to marijuana by my friends. I used to smoke at my house, school, like everywhere. On the same year, I started taking pills, and I used to party a lot. Many times I didn't come back home. I went out with guys so they could give me drugs because I didn't have money to buy them. At the age of 15, my aunt kicked me out of the house because she found out everything that I was doing, and I had nowhere to go, so I moved in with a friend. But that made things worse because I had more freedom. Before, I received many invitations to the YPG, but I rejected all of them. But there was a day that I felt really bad. I couldn't take it anymore. That emptiness, sadness was worse every day. If I was happy, like, it was only for a moment. And so I decided to look for help. And the only place that came to my mind was the YPG. Little by little, everything started to change, and now, like, I don't need drugs, I don't need friends, I don't need to party to be happy. Now, like, everything is different. I recommend the YPG because I received help. Like I said before, the people here, they helped me to go through everything that I was going through. I made new friends that influenced me to the right thing. Now I'm happy. If you're going through problems, I invite you to come to the YPG because you can receive help as I did. And the YPG is fun, it's different, it's YPG. We believe in you.
And that's right, we really do believe in you. So Those of you who struggle with depression, suicidal thoughts, you don't know what else to do about your life, no, his story is really going to help you out. And also, this week, we're going after the guys who have a problem with drugs. I'm not talking about addictions in general, but I'm talking about drugs. Legal, non-legal, doesn't make much of a difference. But if it's a drug, if it's something that's changing the state of your mind, we want you to help somebody who's going through something like this when they don't have anybody else there for them. Now, Angel, you said Monday that you started out with cigarettes, then you smoked corn. Is that it?
Not corn necessarily, but there was a point where there was no money coming in, and my grandparents had a farm. I would go over their house. I would pick the dry leaves from the corn and the dry hair of the corn, and I would roll cigars from that, and I would smoke that.
So you were smoking corn.
Yes.
Don't smoke corn. It's not gonna get you high. Don't do it. Don't get any ideas.
And one thing that's interesting to say is that when the person is addicted to something, the person goes the extra mile and do the stupidest thank you thing ever, because I mean, who in this life would smoke corn?
Yeah.
So he was doing this just because of his addiction. He wanted to smoke something and he didn't have the money, so that's what he did.
So you ended up smoking corn. Then obviously I don't think that you got hooked on corn, did you?
No.
No, it was just something to do. But then there was something else. Then what was the next drug of choice?
Well, I left my country. I came here to USA, and I started hanging around with bad people, which did smoke weed, were doing a lot of alcohol, cocaine, and cigarette was just not cutting it anymore. I wanted something more, so I started smoking weed.
Okay, now what kind of weed were you smoking? Was it just like the regular? No, I found some there that my homie left on the side of the door, or you were going like, okay, I want this strand, I want that kind, and want this flavor. What were you looking for?
I was looking for the toppest type of weed.
What? As much as you can remember, list the kind of weed that you used to smoke.
There's the sour diesel, purple haze, pineapple express, all kinds of weird names that they named this.
It's all weed.
It's all weed. I had to have the you could say the most exotic ones. And
so
I
you're feeding off that THC, and you really needed it bad.
Yes.
How many blunts a day would you smoke? On a good day, not like a horrible, like, man, I really gotta get high today, but like on a regular day, how many blunts a day would you smoke?
I would be spending $100 a day, from $80 to $100 in just one day, by myself.
80 to 100 bucks a day.
Yes.
So how many blunts is that?
About 6.
6, but and this was just you. We're not talking about like you sharing, right?
No, not sharing.
All right. Now, today I'm gonna beat my record. What would it be like? How many blunts would you smoke?
When we got together with a couple more people, we were talking about $300-400 of weed just in one day.
In one day.
In one day.
One go.
Just weed.
And not to mention the other stuff.
Not mentioning that.
Now, how long did it take for you to go from cigarettes to weed? How long? There was a year, 2 years?
About a year and a half.
A year and a half.
Yes.
How long did it take for you to go from weed to the next one?
About 2 years.
2 years as well.
Yes.
What was the next one?
I went from weed, I went very fast to alcohol. And then I jumped into cocaine. That I had to, you can say, keep it kind of secret, because I didn't want nobody to know that I was going that deep. And I was doing cocaine when I was not drinking, because I felt tough. It made me feel really tough, but it was something that only lasts about 5 minutes, so I had to keep doing it.
So one line, 5 minutes, then another line.
Yes.
and keep going.
Yes.
Do you remember how many lines you would do in one day?
In about a day, it's about $60.
That's how many lines, give or take?
Probably like 8-10 lines.
We got a foot long.
No, not that big.
but that it sounds funny and all, but that's some serious stuff. And for those of you watching us right now, you might be thinking, nah, this guy's crazy. He didn't do all that. This is the tip of the iceberg. This is just the beginning, and it goes into weirder and wilder things. And that's what I wanted to point out. It took him 2 years to go from cigarettes to weed. And then it took him another 2 years to go from weed to cocaine. Now, you went from cocaine to what?
And in between that, I started getting involved in gangs.
Mm-hmm.
I started getting involved in robberies, fighting people, jumping people, talking about closing down streets because of fights in front of schools. Got to a point where I was going to school, and when the bell rang at the end of the day, I had to be the first one to run out of school because I had the police waiting for me outside.
That's crazy. Brittany, have any comments?
Yeah, I have here Robert Barajas saying, what was the most addicting drug for you?
It was cocaine.
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 Was that the one that got you hooked the most only, or was it like the most damaging one too?
It was the most damaging and most expensive.
Oh, so it damaged the pocket, it damaged your mind,
Yes.
it damaged your health. It's just all around.
And the
crazy.
cocaine, after the reaction passes, I used to stay angry.
Why? Because you wanted more? or
I
what?
wanted more. I wanted to feel that buzz. But I was doing so much cocaine that the reaction would only last 5 minutes. I'll sniff 2 lines, wait about 8 minutes to kick in, and it will last 5 minutes, and it was gone. And then I was there stressed out.
While you were high, you were good.
Yes.
Let me ask you, that's my question. How does cocaine make you feel? What is the sensation? What is the reaction that it gives you?
When you're not drinking and you're doing cocaine, it makes you feel strong.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you feel unbeatable. So I like that feeling.
And that's it.
But you had to,
Yes.
bring it down with the alcohol. So you shoot up with the coke, and then you bring it down with the shot of alcohol, and then you just float in between.
I brought it down with the blunt.
Oh, so you
Yeah.
coke it up and blunt it down.
Yes. And then when I was about to pass out on weed, I'll sniff cocaine to get up.
That is some crazy stuff.
I have Rebecca Faria asking here, what was the worst thing you have done to keep up your addiction?
What were you like? What was the what's it called? I want to kind of twist her question a little bit, but to ask you, what was the thing that you promised yourself? Because that's what addiction. I'm talking about weed. I'm talking about addictions and to drugs in general. They have one main goal. They want you to break your promises.
Yeah.
And they start breaking the promises to yourself. So what was that thing that you said, oh, I'll do the weed, I'll snort the coke, I'll do the drugs and all that. I'm going to party, but I'm never going to do this. What was that you were pointing to?
Robbing, and it got to a point that I stole money from my own mother to go and buy the cocaine, the weed, because I would go out on the streets and I wouldn't find any people to rob. Mm-hmm. And I was so desperate that I stole a couple of times from my mother.
And that was something that you said, no, I'm never going to go that far.
I thought that I would never get to that point.
And you didn't even want to do that.
No.
But the craving was stronger.
And it got to a point that I wanted to quit and I couldn't quit. I cried so many times because I had the strength to fight people, a couple of people at the same time. I had the strength to do a lot of stuff that were not good, but I did not have the strength to quit sniffing, to quit drinking, to quit smoking.
So you were the tough guy on the block, but when the door was locked, then you were nothing but a slave.
Yeah, when I was around people, oh, he's the guy, you know, he's the guy.
This man got it made, you know,
Yeah.
he's top dog, you know. But
Yeah, and then, but when I was alone, I felt like a little chihuahua.
so going from Rottweiler to Chihuahua, you know, real quick, just by closing the door. Bruna, what other comments you have?
Yeah, I have here Guyland saying, was curiosity, oh, my English today is really tough, I'm sorry for that. So was curiosity an enemy or a friend in your situation? And he's also asking, how did you get out of this? This we're gonna get in a very few minutes.
No, we're gonna get into this another day. It's just about, you know, how low he sank. Now, what was the question again?
Was curiosity, you're just insisting this word that I don't know how to pronounce.
Curiosity.
Well. Thank you. An enemy or a friend in your situation?
I think it turned out to be the worst enemy.
Were you that kind of guy that you would just try it because you didn't want to get high, you just wanted to say, hey, how does it feel? Was that you?
That's how it started, but then it felt good.
So when you found out, hey, no, this is the good stuff.
Yes, and then I started finding out, oh, there's better stuff than that, you know, there's a better quality. Oh, I want to try it, I want to have that, you know.
So you became like, no, consumer report for drugs, and you know, this is the good stuff, that don't stay with this stuff, no, try this and try that, mixing and matching, and then you were getting to the point. Did you ever feel like you were like too high or no?
No.
You could never be high enough.
I just thought that no matter how much I smoked, I just kept getting less high.
Oh.
Because your body was getting used to it.
Yes.
So that scared you.
Yeah, it did. So when I was not getting high from just weed, I'll do cocaine, and then when that was not enough, alcohol.
And then you were just cycling between both.
Yes.
I want to take it right now to West Palm Beach, where we have Roxy on the line there on Skype. Roxy, how are you guys doing out there in West Palm Beach?
Doing good. How are you guys?
All right. Now, Roxy, we're talking about drugs this week, and I know that you know Angel's story personally, but what do you think? What is your opinion on the whole drug matter in terms of the young people? Why do you think, or what's pushing them to be so involved in drugs now more than ever?
That because of their peers, because I know that high school or people would try to and say like, oh, you want to have fun, you know, have an exit of or the struggle of your character. So I feel like the friends, your around that people, because how Angel said that when he was alone, he was always feel like it's difficult to act with people around you alone. So I feel like the people who's around you affect the most, influence you the most.
Now, Roxy, did you ever feel like a victim of this peer pressure of having to try this or try that or do this or do the other, like drinking, drugs, partying? Did that ever happen to you?
I offered a couple of times, but I knew that it wasn't a way out, and it wasn't okay to do, and I knew that it changed the fact of how I felt at that time.
And you were telling me when I went out there to West Palm Beach that you struggle with depression, with suicidal thoughts, but even though you went through all of that, you still didn't see drugs as the alternative, right?
No, I didn't, because my parents were strict, and I just knew that if I were to come home, that affect a lot. Or like.
So pretty much like it. You know, you wouldn't have to commit suicide if you came home high. They just kill you for as a favor.
Yeah.
Now, going through all of that, going through the depression and going through the suicidal thoughts, even attempting at a time, how did the YPG play a role in changing that?
it took a bit of faith because it took me a while to actually start and go to YPG because I was, I guess you can say, a social person. So,
But you were antisocial because you thought that no, we're just a bunch of weird people who don't know what to do and all that stuff.
a little bit, yeah.
Oh wow! You see, there's honesty in these comments. You know, most people are not that candid and not that honest, but no, it is what it is.
Yep.
What did you think was the cheesiest thing about YPG? Because no, I get a lot of this cheese comment. No, it's a bunch of corny kids that just don't sit down and all that
Come
stuff.
on, show some respect. YPG people are good people, you know.
I think that like, you were like happy, and I'm not a type of person. Like, why so many? And like, how come they have this? You know, like with so many things going on in the world, tell us why? Like, no point.
So you saw that they had something that you wanted, even though you didn't want to be with them, but they had something that you wanted. That something was that peace, right?
Yeah.
Now, today, coming to the YPG and being one of the corny kids, we could put it that way. How's life for you now?
It's really good. YPG, in a way, exit to what I was going through. It was, you know, I didn't have to act a certain way the way that I would actually work in YPG. I could be myself, and it was really fun. Competition, you know, like getting to know new people and like girls, because I really have like friends like that, like, you know, have a phone conversation to be like, hey, how are you today? And things like that. Like YPG was like an exit.
And it was an exit that for her did not have to end up like exiting this life in a coffin, because that's how you were heading, right?
Yes.
And now you did weed, cigarettes, alcohol, cocaine. Did you ever do pills?
No, but I did saw a lot of pills going in and out and going through hands. And
What other drugs did you experiment with?
that was it, but I did saw a lot of crack, a lot of heroin, a
You
lot
never
of
did
pills.
crack?
No,
Meth?
no,
Heroin? No?
no. I thought that I was in the level where I was gonna be okay with the stuff, you know.
So
You're trying to control it.
you were trying to retire on cocaine.
Yeah, I thought that people who did crack and
They're just
heroin,
weird.
they were just weird. They were just. I thought I was
And
okay.
you were normal.
It's funny how it's perfectly normal. They're just snorting a foot-long line of cocaine, and I got it made, and trying to balancing out with the weed. But the dude that does the crack is no, don't go that far. That's too crazy.
I'm bad, but like you're worse, more or less like that, right?
Yeah, where I come from, they say that's the dirty guy talking about the filthy dude. That's one of the other.
I have a question here from Robert Barajas saying, did you ever commit a regretful mistake while you were under drugs?
Not just one, a lot.
Yeah.
Can you tell us like some examples?
No, because that's what we can tell us tomorrow.
Come on, it's just a little spoiler.
No, spoiler alert. Tomorrow there'll be more of Angel's story.
I have
what
one
time
more.
is it, buddy? Oh, wow.
Yeah, right now we are 33 minutes in the show, and we need to reach those 50 views today because, come on, we gotta show this.
How many views are we at
right now? Shame on you guys. 12 views. Where's everybody else? We reached
Everybody has gone to
20.
sleep.
Now? Come on, it's too early. Nobody here is 10
Speaking of
years
which,
old.
when you were on drugs and all that stuff, will you ever spend like the whole night up?
Nights, not just
Nights.
Yes.
What was the longest you ever went like high, no sleep?
3 days,
3 days nonstop.
like partying day and night.
By the end of those 3 days, you were dead.
But that became like something regular because I would wake up at 5 in the morning, go outside, smoke, get ready, go out to the streets, sniff cocaine, and drink alcohol throughout the day.
That was your diet
That was the daily,
routine.
yes.
So this is how out of control his life was: gangs, cocaine, drugs, and the list was really, really long. You have any more comments?
Yeah, I have Annabelle Fuentes saying, how was your health affected by the heavy drugs use? Physically, mentally, socially? It says that some people don't eat and care for themselves as their focus is only on their addiction. What truth is there that you can, that it's your own experience? So how was it for you?
Well, I think everybody that does alcohol or weed, they all have different reactions.
How did you
For
react?
example, for me at the beginning when I started smoking weed, if I was placed in front of a refrigerator full of food,
It's over.
it was gonna be empty by the end of the day or of the end of the night.
So your munchies were supernatural munchies.
Yes,
It's crazy munchies.
crazy much.
What about how would you react on cocaine?
Cocaine just gave a lot of thirst. Yeah.
Did you ever start feeling pains in your liver?
No, when I was heavily drinking, yeah. But whenever I was feeling some type of pain, I would just sniff a lot of cocaine and smoke. But it got to a point where I was having trouble breathing.
Oh, so
Yes.
You coughing up some weird stuff?
Yes.
And how about socially? Like, did you start like avoiding people or changing the circle you used to live?
Yeah, I just used to be a really quiet person. Everywhere I went, I just sit down, and if somebody spoke to me, I spoke, and then I was somebody that I was very close, a very close person that I didn't like to speak a lot. But I didn't like to speak a lot, and we're gonna get to that just because I was not speaking a lot,
Doesn't mean
I
you
was
weren't doing a lot.
I wasn't doing a lot, but I was also hearing a lot.
We're gonna get to that in our next episode here with Angel. Now I want to go back to Roxy. Roxy, you're from our branch out there in West Palm Beach. Now, what days and what times can people go there to find you? Because there's always going to be a hater saying, nah, these people are fake, and this whole story about this girl trying to kill herself.
My husband felt offended.
Very, very
Yeah,
offended. So there's some people who like to hate. No. But no, we love our haters because they think so much about us the whole day, and we have to give them some kind of credit. So we want you to come out there to West Palm Beach, for those of you who live in that area, and tell us what you think. You're going to speak to Roxy yourself, and she can answer your questions. Roxy, where can they find you?
They can come 854 Connie. That's where me and other guys are there to talk, hear all of your problems, or away if you're struggling, or if you're going through something you don't really do.
And what's the time, the date and time? Is it Friday? Is it Sunday? What days is better for you?
Sunday, 1 to 3 p.m.
Sunday, 1 to 3 p.m. And that's where you can find her and many others. Angel came from out there from West Palm Beach.
Yes.
And you guys also who are in that area, you should definitely come out. All right? Now, we unfortunately, we blew our time. We're out of minutes, but,
Yeah.
and we are out of views. How many views?
14 right now.
There are many other people who are trying to watch, and for whatever reason, they are unable to connect. But we want you to keep sharing the show because you never know who you might be able to help. You know, we've been talking to a lot of people who have a drug problem, and we are going after them. If you know somebody who has a drug problem and you want them to find the help that Ung had found, that many other people have found, tell them to meet us here at 3501 West Flagler Street in Miami, Florida, or in a place near your house. All right? There might be another YPG location nearest to you. We're going to be out for tonight, but we'll be back soon with more Life Worth Living.